see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining in.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, October 14th, 2024, and welcome to episode 784 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter-free. I'm Brian, your host, and today I am enjoying a silver bullet blend from foodforestfarms.com, where you get 10% off with the discount code LOTS10, and the shipping is always free while you're there. Check out the Seafloor Club. You can find that at foodforestfarms.com. Got lucky with our truck repairs. I'll be talking about that. Had a busy weekend at Delinquents Gully, and I have a question. Does Jesus hate breakfast? We will find out. First, let's head on over into the comment section, see who's hanging out in the coffee crew. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Hunter, morning over on Twitch, always coming in and making sure everything is all right over on Twitch. Sorry, guys, I got a little something on my hat there. Pip in. Good morning, Mr. Pippin. How are we doing? Hopefully, lots of forklifting today, and you have a good one. Morning, Jamie. Off Grid Ping. How are you doing? Sent you a message last night. Sorry I didn't stop by this weekend. We were busy, and it sounded like everybody in the neighborhood was busy too, getting stuff done. So we knocked it out and got out of there. So hopefully your weekend went well. Hunter says, well, Jesus was a big fan of fasting. So if you're breaking the fast, yeah, I mean, good point. Pip says, up at work on my day off, sister's truck has AC problems. Well, what a nice brother getting that fixed. How was the hurricane damage, Pip? Did you sustain anything locally? Any issues with your dwelling or any of your property, or did everything just go pretty smooth, light flooding and no aftermath to deal with? Yeah, that man, I'm still in this bag of Silver Bullet Blend. Silver Bullet Blend was a specialty blend that Brian came up with for our when I was selling the custom made silver coins, and it's fantastic. In the grinder, it looks like salt and pepper almost. It's super dark monsoon Malabar, and then a very light Colombian, I believe. Hey guys, over in the vertical feed, and Anik Gaming, hi, how we doing? Softball P8B, how we doing? I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hit that like and the sub if you would over there. So the Silver Bullet Blend is pretty fantastic in the grinder. You grind it up, and it's just a perfect blend. Very dark and rich with a light, bright flavor added into it, and I enjoy it very, very much. Hi. I see him there, buddy. 777. Gotcha. Good morning, Digger. How we doing? What's my name? My name's Brian. What's your name? Digger, how we doing? Hopefully you're doing all right, and the pinched nerve is healing along. Pip says light flooding in the area, a few dozen trees down, a few hit power lines, a few fence panels down on an old fence. Fared well, all things considered. Well, that's good. But you weren't in the brunt of it, right? Oh, my new friend in the vertical feeds from India. If you love India, you will definitely hit that thumbs up and the subscribe. I like India for sure. Good morning, John Palmer. Good day and good morning to you as well. Crip Blue, good morning. How we doing in the vertical feed? Says I woke up spooning a prostitute in a motel. What was his name? Were you the big spoon or the little spoon? Did you have to pay for the whole night or only before you guys fell asleep? Alvin Davino says, "Do you know porn or maybe poon?" I am not a porn aficionado, but I have some experience with poon for sure. Hunter says, "Don't they charge extra when you fall asleep with them?" Maybe fall asleep in them. Get some coffee in here. It's Monday, guys, for sure, for sure. Busy weekend this weekend. Was able to pick up a truck on Friday. That was fantastic. Not porn. I know poon. I know poon for sure. Is that what you're asking? So Friday, anxiously waited after the show, anxiously waited for the garage to call. Dropped the truck off. I had no idea what was going on with it, and it was obviously in the transmission area, gear shifter, stuff like that, and most people, anarchists wondering where Arkit. Excuse me, it's Arkit. I want to say anarchist, man. I'm hoping that you're anti-government. Wondering where I'm from. Currently located in Tennessee, by way of New York and Minnesota. So, does that answer your question? Anxiously was waiting for the garage to call about the truck. Something happened where I went to put it in reverse or into drive, and when it got to reverse, it just let loose. Gear shift was just floppy, and it was stuck in reverse. So got it towed over there. 10 points for AAA. That was a free tow. Well, free as in we pay for the membership and use the tow. So I'm guessing the tow from last Friday was more than sufficient to cover our annual fee for more than 1 year. So if you're wondering about AAA, we've used it. Corey and I have used it more than enough to pay for it, and have always been happy with the service. So if this is a glowing recommendation for AAA, yeah, it is. I think AAA is well worth the money, and they're very good. They're very good at letting you re-up if your membership lapses and you have your card and you call and you're like, "Hey, this is my card number," and they're like, "Oh, you haven't paid in like 4 years." And you're like, "Can I pay now for a new membership?" They're usually pretty good about that. Don't quote me on that. And they're also usually good about adjusting what coverage level you have. So if you only have a standard level and for some reason you're pulling a trailer and you need a bumped coverage to cover the trailer and the truck tow and stuff like that, definitely doable on the fly from my experiences. Good morning, Hanging Laundry. How are we doing? Canadian Farmstead, happy real Thanksgiving. Yeah, I tried to get into that with a little of that with Toolman Tim the other night, and it sounds like you guys just copied our Thanksgiving. Like there's no like significant event or anything that happened, like the Pilgrims and the Indians eating turkey together. You guys just made up a holiday. we would never do that in the United States. I'm sure the Pilgrims and the Indians are sitting down having mashed potatoes and fucking turkey on the end of November. Hager Laundry says, thinking of getting AAA for my daughter. Do it. You will be happy. Canadian Farm says, we are actually thankful. What are you thankful for? Canadian Farmstead, since you're the only Canadian in here and it's your Thanksgiving, what is Canada thankful for? That you got your bigger, stronger brother to the south? Are you thankful that it isn't snowing yet? Did the Maple Leafs win yet? Oh, Canadian Farmstead says they're thankful for the harvest. There's one thing I know that's harvesting right about now. Is that what you're thankful for? You're thankful for the harvest. What what do you guys what do you guys grow up in the Great White North besides seal blubber or some shit? Really shouldn't bust on being north, because when we were in Minnesota, we were actually north of Canadian Farmstead there, but we lived in the United States, so it was okay. Gabe, John Palmer says they they harvest snow and ice. Hanging Laundry says they grow wheat. Canadian Farmstead. What do you? Question was, hey, Canadian Farmstead, what do you harvest? What do you grow in Canada up in the Great White North? And his answer is men and whiskey. I can't believe Backwoods Butcher hasn't immigrated to Canada yet. If he gets to harvest men on a yearly basis, it's not nice. That's not nice to pick on him when he's not here. Anyway, sat around Friday waiting for the call from the garage that the truck was done. I was waiting for the call to hear that they looked at it, because she said they were going to take a look first thing in the morning, that they could squeeze it in. I dropped it off on Thursday. I was hoping that they could at least look at it on Friday. I could figure out if I needed to get a rental car, what we needed to do, if it was going to be a long fix or whatever. I waited all day, and as small town things happen, it got to about 2:00. They closed at 5, and I wanted to just see what was going on. So I gave her a call. I was like, hey, just calling for an update on my truck. And she said, oh, yeah. We got to look at it this morning. We're waiting on the part. I'm like, oh, that's a good thing if you're waiting on a part. She says, yeah, just like Pippin said, my buddy Pip in the Telegram group said, it's probably just the gear shift cable bushing. And that's exactly what it was. She says it's the cable bushing. It's super cheap. It's like $15. But the problem is we're waiting for the part to show up. She said, we only have one place that will deliver parts to us currently, because, and I found out afterwards that their local parts guy, several other shops owe him so much money that he's not delivering anything until he gets paid. They don't owe him any money, but he doesn't have any cash flow to order anybody else's parts, because 2 shops racked up like 50 grand or some shit worth of back parts, and they haven't paid him. So he's got no capital. 2 points. Canadian Farm says Kyle's a southern Canadian. 2 points for Pip for sure. And Canadian Farm says I don't mind waiting for a $15 part. Yeah. So when she told me that, I was like, okay, well, I wish she had called me in the morning and let me know that. But I guess it really didn't make a difference, because I would have sat around waiting for her to call that the truck was done. So she said she was hoping that the part showed up yet that day. Like I said, this was like 2:30. They closed at 5. If the truck got fixed, I needed to find a way to get there. It was like 10 miles away. I didn't have any vehicle. That's a long walk, and if it's last minute. And so I was like, all right, if it comes in, how long does it take to put in? She's like, I don't know. It's like 20 minutes. It's not hard at all to get in. They said, well, if the AutoZone guy pulls into the driveway, could you call me before he even gets out of the car? Just let me know that it's there. And then I'm like, oh shit, maybe they'll make a different delivery, and she'll be like, oh, it's here, and then it doesn't show up. But I said, you give me a call, and I'll try to get up there by 5:00. I said, you're closed on Saturday and Sunday, right? So it'd be till Monday if it doesn't show. Correct. So I started making plans for the weekend. I told Corey, it's a cheap part. It's good. It's not going to be a ton of money. And we might have to wait till Monday. we had plenty to do around here over the weekend, so I wasn't sweating it too much. But about 20 minutes, half hour later, phone rings and it's the garage. She's like, hey, the AutoZone guy just pulled up. They're rolling your truck in. They're going to get it fixed and get the oil changed. And I needed an oil change, by the way, which was convenient that I had to drop it off. Was required to drop it off. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll try to get up there by 5. Otherwise, I'll see you on Monday. I called my buddies Norman and Herschel. God, I owe them, and I keep owing them. And I told them when they gave me a ride, I was like, you guys need to start cashing in your owe you ones because I'm starting to owe you a lot of them. I'm starting to owe you a lot of them, and I don't like owing people shit. So would you start cashing in those owe you ones? But if you could give me a ride to the Sardis Auto, that would be fantastic. I need to pick up my truck. No problem. We'll be on our way. We will be on our way as friends do, as community does. They hopped in their car. They came over. They said, well, we had to stop there anyway. Well, they didn't really need to stop there. They needed to make an appointment for a vehicle to get some oil change and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, we'll just go in. No problem. We'll give you a ride. We'll go in and and make our appointment. I was like, all right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So pick up the truck. Literally the part and labor to fix the problem that I was hoping wasn't going to be thousands and thousands of dollars cost the same as the oil change. Oil change to the truck cost $70. The part and labor for fixing the gear shift issues was $70 out the door. I was ecstatic to have that be low triple digits. I was hoping that we weren't high triple digits or even mid to high quadruple digits. So truck came back. Drives nice. I mean, it didn't change that much. Got the oil change. Actually noticed that we're rolling up on 200,000 miles in that truck, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully it's good for way more, but rolling up on 200,000 in our 2011 F-250. So get her done. Ford tough. Ford tough. So that was good. Got the truck back. It took about 24 hours, which was it's surprising for around here. Small shop, small staff, 2-bay garage. Bless you, Corey. 2-bay garage, and like she said, parts are getting hard to come by. So an emergency situation where our only vehicle was down can get kind of tedious to think about how we're going to get where we need to go, because nothing else is close. Nothing's close here. So yeah, get you thinking. And Corey and I have actually been discussing as we transition out to a cabin and liquidate the camper and start making plans for other campers and things like that. We probably will pick up a runner car. We will probably explore options of having a second vehicle, a more gas efficient vehicle, a more just a secondary mode of transportation. Chris Dixon says a Ford lasts that long. An American Ford. You're looking at Canadian Fords. I says I like to make them a total loss at around 300,000 kilometers. Good morning to you, Chris Dixon. Thanks for stopping in. By the way, your shoes have not left Tennessee yet. I think you might have something to do with all my issues, because every time I jump behind the wheel to go to the post office to mail your shit, something goes sideways in my life. So I'm going to try again today. I'm going to try to get them on their way to you again today. Pip says maybe an older Honda CRV that's all-wheel drive. Corey wants another Outback. Yeah. I think if we replace the truck, we'll hold on to the truck. If we end up getting a secondary vehicle, we'll run that truck until we're making decisions on whether it is worth replacing a very expensive parts. We'll run that till it dies, and then probably get into another truck that size. We really like having that full size pickup, not the baby pickups, not the 150s, 250 or greater. John Palmer says he's got a 99 F250 with over 325,000 miles. I like to hear that. Canadian Farmstead says you should get an e-bike. You should get an e-bike. Get an e-bike. Should I tow my generator around on a trailer with the e-bike? I never run out of power. Lots of e-bikes up there in January in Ontario. Jesus. Canadian Farmstead said that's exactly what I sounded like when I was typing it. My impersonations are spot on. Oh, anyway, guys, I got so we're going to talk about the weekend. Corey and I made an impromptu trip out to the cabin. Well, not a trip, an overnight. Corey and I had decided that we were going to head out. I was going to go out Saturday and Sunday. I had a lot of stuff to do, kind of wrapping up from Delinquents Gully work days. We needed to reorganize the cabin to get it back to where it was functionally for us with the dogs and going out there and spending the night. Things got shuffled around. A bunch of stuff came back from Tim's storage locker, things like that. So we didn't want to deal with that on a Friday night because it's getting dark earlier. We get out there and it gets dark pretty quick, and we didn't want to be trying to shuffle around, get everything functional in the evening, and then make dinner and have it be a short night. So we were just going to go out. Corey was going to kind of get everything organized while I did some work. I had a bunch of a to-do list, and so I asked her on Saturday morning, I was like, hey, do you want to go out today or you want to go out tomorrow? I got to go out both days regardless. I got a bunch of stuff to do. She's like, well, why don't we just go out and spend the night and get a bunch of stuff done? And I said, why not? Why not? So we made an impromptu trip Saturday morning. We packed up the dogs. We packed up everything, jumped out to the cabin and got a bunch of stuff done. It was good. It's nice that it's that close. It's nice that we're familiar enough with it that we can just on a whim just head out and be pretty productive along with being out there. Sorry guys, a little gassy this morning. Little burps. I don't know if it's the coffee. Had some junk food yesterday. It was probably a big mistake. Shit, I forgot to weigh myself this morning too. It's Monday. I gotta get back on that track. So one thing about the weekend, I got these new pants. So I got a while back, quite a while back. Actually, they've been out of stock for a while. I got contacted by a company called Western Rise. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They make travel and outdoor clothes. I didn't know what travel and outdoor clothes were when they contacted me. They're like, hey, we're wondering, would you be interested in us sending out a pair of pants and a t-shirt, and you give them a try and let me know what you think. Do some content about them if you like them, this and that. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not normally a clothes model. I might be becoming a clothes model. Corey said that I would be good for like the redneck fashion influencer, with my scraggly beard and my missing tooth and my redneck ways with the hats and the tats and all that, that I could slide into that redneck clothes influencer, fashion influencer. Yeah. So look forward to that. But they were going to send me out a pair of, they're called Evolution pants and a cotton t-shirt, which, guys, I got them in the mail, and I opened them and I looked at them. I was like, these are dress pants. Like, literally thought that the pants were like the pants you used to get when you were a kid and your mom and you had to do like a church or a band concert or I don't know, whatever. And it was like that very slippery, thin material. Minnesota, New York, cold. Your like legs freeze off, and you're like, holy shit. Hunter says ball hammock compression underwear. Oh, just give me a second. And so, yeah, these pants, I like picked them up, and they were like very slippery, thin material. Canadian Farm said, "Are they breakaway?" They're not. So I didn't put them on right away, and I was like, I don't know about this. So I was like looking into them a little bit before we went out to the cabin. Basically, it was on Friday when I was waiting for the truck. I went to their website. I was looking into them, and so they're meant to be a pair of pants that Pip says we're going to Sears for family photos. Correct. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. So they're meant to be travel pants. They're meant to be super compact, wrinkle resistant, stain resistant, water repellent. And you're supposed to be able to wear them for multiple days in a row without them looking like shit because they are the material they are. And they claim that they'll take up to 3 pairs of pants. They'll replace. So basically, your casual pant, your outdoor activity pants, and your dress pants, you could wear these all according to them, and you'll look fine. Nice enough to wear out to dinner, but rugged enough to wear out in the woods. Well, I don't go out to dinner where I gotta. I don't need to. I don't go out to dinner many places where I have to dress up, but I do go outdoors, and I do like to wear the same pants multiple times because I don't like to pay for laundry, and and we're not set up to do our manual laundry quite yet until we get out with a clothesline. Canadian Farmstead says, good news, the pee won't soak in. I was wondering if they would be good for people that accidentally shit their pants a lot. Like if it would shed the poo. But I haven't tested that out yet. But anyway, I was like, I do go outdoors. I'm curious how how they'll fare out at the gully where we have thorns, where I'm kind of beating the shit out of pants. Like I wear like Carhartt pants or heavy duty work pants out there, and they still get kind of beat up. Good morning, it's all Grandy. How's it going? Hunter says, I'm crying, picturing you, no pants, but the hat, shirt, boots, and socks on, beard. Haha, yes. So I was like, I'll give these a chance this weekend. I threw an extra pair of pants in the backpack. I was intending to throw them on for the whole weekend. And guys, I put these things on. And I'm like, these are literally the most comfortable pants I've ever put on. They got this 4-way stretch material. They're super light. They don't bind up. They fit right in all. I don't know if they nailed the size. What happened? But these things are. They were literally when I put them on, I'm like, oh my god, these pants are so comfortable. Went on a dog walk with Corey, and I was like, hey, what do you think of my pants? Corey, did you say I look good in them? She says they look good. she's not being completely truthful. She thinks they look damn good. But guys, I put them on. I was like, holy crap, these are really, really nice. I went to the website. There's a reason they're super comfortable. There's a reason they look really good. There's a reason they made it through the weekend and didn't get all stained up. And I was able to walk through thorns and shit, and they didn't snag. They're $130 for a pair of pants. I don't know if that's normal to you. You probably tell the shocked face, the shocked reaction from me. I don't pay $130 for fucking pants. Maybe I should. I looked at Corey and I said, is this what people that spend money on their clothes? Is this what their clothes feel like? Because I might have to change my priorities. Hanging Laundry says, wow, they don't snag. They don't seem to have snagged on the thorns. I want to give them more of a test through the thorns. Like maybe a good blackberry machete session and see if they hang tough. But I know I walked through some of the green, like the super sawtooth thorns, and I don't see any damage to the pants. Off-Grid Ping says, do they hug you in all the right spots? Dude, they make my ass look phenomenal. And Corey says I have Hank Hill ass. So, yeah, I don't know. Hunter says, most I've ever paid was $60 for 511s for work. I paid more than that for work pants. When you get into Duluth Trading Company, Fire Hose, and things like that, they do get spendy, but I've never spent over $100 for pants. Canadian Farm says, pretty sure all my clothes together came in under 140. Right? John Palmer says, have you ever looked at Ironheart pants? I haven't. I have not. Hunter says, I'm more of a Goodwill sale day, $6 pair kind of guy. That's me. That was me for sure when I was in the gas and oil industry, when I was at the recycling place. That's the MO for me was I'm going to ruin these pants, so I'm going to wear them. But man, when a free sample comes out, it's all great. He says you will get what you pay for, except with gas and food, right? Right. Canadian Farm said wants Corey to film me jumping into a blackberry patch. Maybe we'll have to take donations for that. But anyway, the Western Rise Evolution, they are expensive. They did give me a discount code with the affiliate relationship. So they do have other clothes. The t-shirt was really comfortable when I tried it on. I haven't hold on. I'm trying to, sometimes Word just really pisses me off. I try to select like one thing and it wants to select fucking 6 lines. I highlight something, I let go of the fucking mouse button, and it selects more, and I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry, I didn't mean to blow up like that. But anyway, they gave me 15% off coupon, TheLOTSProject, all one word, all capital, and an affiliate link. So I threw those in the chat comments, and I'll put them in the video notes. Check them out. John Palmer says $400 plus pairs of pants. Wow. And they said they're made the way we used to make denim in the US, and they're made in Japan. Interesting. Canadian Farm says old perp people rant about Word. Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn. But man, these pants, I honest truth, I don't know if I could spend $130 on them right now. I'm close, but mainly because I don't have $130 to spend on a pair of pants, and I have a pair now. I don't need a pair of pants. If I needed a pair of pants, if I was going like, so God forbid this ever happens, but Corey and I have talked about like what would happen if something happened to you type of conversations. Um, we're like soulmates. We're twin flames, if you remember that episode. And if something happened to Corey, I would be absolutely devastated. And so I've gone through the scenario to prepare myself. Like if something happens, like what would I do? And we've had this conversation, Corey and I, and I think the thing that I would do is probably I would probably want to go like hike the Appalachian Trail or something by myself, something where I could get in my own head. I could figure it out. I could spend some time alone in nature, and get away from the people that are going to be trying to hound me to make sure I'm okay. Like I'm a process it myself type of guy. I think these would be fantastic pants to I think these pants would be fantastic to do like a through hike, a road trip weekend, a getaway weekend. And that's kind of their target. And I think they're spot on with their target market. Putting them in a go bag, putting them in a travel bag, or just wearing them until you need to change them and put on another pair, which is it would take longer. Just the material they are. So I would probably go for one for that if I was gearing up for a trip and I had some extra funds. I think they'd be fantastic for a vacation or something like that. Canadian Farmstead says, has your scenario changed in the last year? No, I pretty much want to disappear for a while. And that's been the case for quite a while. When talking with her, when thinking about that scenarios. Hanging Laundry says, I remember getting Levi's in the 70s, stiff as heck. Canadian Farmstead says, I figured you would put on your special pants and head up to New Hampshire. Well, the Appalachian Trail goes right up there, man. I would probably start in the south and head up there, and then have the backdoor butcher pick me up and tell me what he thinks of my pants. How did they fare? Did they make it all the way up the trail? Oh, there's some worn spots. There's a hole right there in the butt. Anyway, check out the pants. If you're looking for pants and you got more money than I do, check out the Western Rise Evolution pants. Check out the t-shirts. If the rest of their clothes on the site have anything are anywhere near the quality of the stuff they sent me, spendy but probably worth it. So the other thing that I got in the mail that I'm excited to try out, I haven't tried it out yet, but you guys are gonna like Happy Nuts. Oh man, you can't see it because of the glare. They picked the right guy to represent their shit. Happy Nuts. I got Happy Nuts Comfort Powder Spray and Happy Nuts Comfort Cream. Canadian Farmstead says, hey, Bitcoin went up enough for us to all get pants. Yeah, I had to recharge my thing. It would be green. Hey, let's remember it's green. We got green today. Green. We're up. So Happy Nuts is like an anti-chafing for your ball sack. I gotta try it out. Especially well, we're coming out of swampy, sweaty season here in we're coming out of sweaty season here in Tennessee, so I don't know how much sweat and chafing there'll be, but definitely I could give that fucker a go for their money in the spring. I'll tell you how the happy nuts goes. I'll tell you how happy my nuts are here here in a couple of uses. So we headed out to the cabin in my fancy new pants. Canadian Farmstead says more old people problems, more problems. People that have large nuts that rub on their legs. I know you don't have that issue, so. John Palmer says it's going to be a warm winter. All right, well, we'll promote the shit out of some happy nuts, and they also have happy curves, but they didn't send me any of that stuff. So we went out to the cabin in my fancy pants. I wore my fancy pants to the cabin, and we got some stuff done. We got some stuff done for sure. We got out there. Corey and I made a DIY Berkey filter. I had some extra Berkey filters, the black ceramic ones. Basically, you take 2 5-gallon food grade buckets and assemble a Berkey filter, so you don't have the stainless steel container. You just have two food grade buckets. I ordered a kit on Amazon that came with a spigot. It came with new nuts and washers for the filters. We put it together. Excuse me. They put it together. We didn't have any food coloring to test it, and we did have beets. We had pickled beets. They're red. We tried that. I don't know if I didn't tighten the nuts down to compress the washers enough, or if beet juice actually doesn't get completely filtered by the Berkey. As we were holding it up, we couldn't see anything. Any water coming through except through the outlet spouts. But it had a little bit of a red tinge to the water in the filtered side. So I don't know. Maybe vinegar absorbs the color, and the vinegar went through the filter. I don't know. I picked up some food coloring yesterday, and we'll be testing it, trying to tighten it down more. But it worked. It worked. Got it together. Might needed some adjusting and make sure it's not leaking through, but got that Berkey filter made up. That was good. We also knocked out 20 mushroom logs. We got which 20 was not as many as I'd hoped to get done, but more than I figured we would once we got started, because we were documenting it. We made a lot of video of each step. Then once we were done doing the video and set it up to just knock it out, it went way quicker. So we got 20 logs done. We got 10 shiitake logs done. We got 10 king oyster logs done. And yeah, that would be 4/9. 4/9 of what we got to get done completely. So we had 9 bags of 100 plugs each, and we got 4 bags done. So we got 5 bags left to do. So yeah, got a lot of logs left. Probably another 25 to 30 logs, and so I'll have to harvest a few more. I was a little bit short. Shiitake is what we got started. We also have shiitake that Carrie Brown and I started quite a ways back. I think it was in July. So how that went down was Carrie had a customer that was doing mushroom logs. They bought more than they needed. They gave Carrie, they said, "Hey, Carrie, here's some leftovers. Here's some leftovers for you to use however you want." Carrie asked me if I wanted to do up some mushroom logs. He brought them over. So we got a stack of 5 shiitake logs that we did in July. And the customer that he got them from, her logs fruited the other day, sent me a picture and said, "Hey, look at this." So they were a couple of weeks ahead of us, and also on the other side of the state. So the weather conditions were different. we'll see. We'll see. That'd be interesting if those logs fruit this fall. I wasn't expecting anything till spring, but we'll see. But now we have more, and as we get all the logs done, I'll get them listed up on Facebook. Canadian Farmstead says that's fast for shiitake to fruit. That's what I thought. But Eastern Tennessee might have just had those ideal conditions to get them to pop. I don't know, or it was the right wood. From what I read, if they fruit fast, the wood won't last as long. So if they fruit super fast, the long term production of the log will be shorter. If it takes longer for them to inoculate the log, that's it's a good thing. It will produce fruit for a longer period of time. Could be totally wrong. I've found that a lot of the stuff you read about mushrooms, where to find them, where they grow, how to blah blah blah, all of it is a lot of wives' tales. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. We're gonna list them for sale. We're gonna list the logs for sale, and then we will also sell mushrooms when they become available, and see how that goes. Yeah. Other than that, we'll eat them. Dry them, use them for medicinal, whatever. Good morning, Rewilder Life. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you always stopping by. So we got all those logs done. It was a chore because we videoed it. I think with the 25 to 30 logs we have left, we'll be able to knock them out in a morning, as long as I have all the logs. So I got to get some more. Canadian Farm says, I believe that to be true. My popper logs got used up a lot faster than the maple. And that's where it really came down. As long as you're in the right species of wood, like the right style of tree, the harder the wood, the longer it lasts. There you go. I'll say it again. Get your record button ready. The harder your wood, the longer it'll last. And you'll get fruiting much longer with the harder wood. So, oh boy. Rodler Life says down some caffeine, so I'm getting the list hammered out. Yeah, that's how it usually rolls. So after the mushroom logs, we also John Palmer with the obligatory "that's what she said." So we got the logs. Canadian Farmstead says, "Where's Jim with his finger on the clip button?" He's down in Florida. He might be dealing with power issues, internet issues, and all sorts of stuff. So we might be thankful that he isn't. I might be thankful that he isn't there to run that clip button, but we'll see. Got the mushroom logs done. We also watered the food forest. We watered the trees in and some of the shrubs and bushes. Carrie was hoping for once a week, if we could get to it, and then as the rainy season comes, we'll probably drop down to once a month. But we're really trying to get them as hardy as possible. So let's see how they do. They just got transplanted, so they do look a little crispy. They got some transplant shot to them, and the majority of them were super root bound, coming from Tractor Supply, and they were discounted end of season type of things. End of season, like really end of the season, heading into the next season. So we did the best we could with them. We chopped those roots up and got them out of that big ball and put them in. So the tree, they react. Hey, there's Jim over on Noster. Thanks for that zap, brother. I appreciate it. Hope everything's going all right down in Florida. Excuse me. So we got that watered. Had a little issue with that. The water system worked great. Kind of. So I don't know what was going on. I think my storage sump. I think the 55 gallon might have floated up a little bit, or I think that we're not as downhill as we were before. So what happened is I went down, I looked at the water sump, and it wasn't flowing as much as it was. It had some leaves clogged up in the overflow. So I unclogged the overflow, and sorry guys, unclogged the overflow. It started running more, and I was happy. And so then I filled up the buckets. I went back down, and I was watching it refresh or refill because we were pumping it faster than we were filling, and it didn't seem like it was filling quite as much. So I took it apart. Everything's dry fitted for this reason, because we weren't exactly sure how it was going to work long term. The seep is still running at the same pace as it was. I was observing that, making sure that wasn't the issue. So inside the big sump, we have the fill pipe come in, and then 90 and go down to the bottom. And I was wondering if the bottom got kind of mucky, silty, and it was almost sealing that off. So I was going to take that down, that vertical pipe off, and see how it was running out of the horizontal pipe. So I took that off. I took the elbow off, and I was watching the flow rate, and it just looked slower. It looked slower than the stuff running naturally past in the seep in the spring. So I pushed down a little bit on the pipe, and the flow increased. So I'm wondering, just by settling, by whatever, maybe the silt pushing the vertical pipe up, the buildup of silt in the bottom. I don't know what happened, but it appears that our vertical pipe raised up so that it's still downhill. It's still a grade, so it's running downhill, but it just isn't running. It's not downhill as much to run as fast, if that makes sense. So I pushed that down. The water sped right back up. So I don't know if I just need to cut out the bottom of the overflow hole a little bit to get that pipe down a little bit. If I need to hang some weight off it, whatever I need to do. Chris Dixon says usually the flow decreases when you push down on the pipe, not when it's fed by gravity. If I got a feed source here, backwards, feed source here. Just helping Jim with his clips. I gotcha. So we'll see. It filled back up. It just filled up slower than I like, and it didn't. It slowed down, not because the seep slowed down, but because of some failure in the system we installed. So whether that is a buildup of fine silt, if that's a settling of something, or I'll just keep messing around with it. We'll figure it out. It's still running just fine. So got the buckets all filled up on Saturday afternoon. We're going to take them down and then water at sunset or close to sunset after the sun was off the trees. And I loaded them up in my cart, and I started down to the nursery, and I had to go through a little runoff ditch on the way down there. And I had 4 5-gallon buckets in the cart. The cart tipped over. I was able to salvage 1 5-gallon bucket out of the 3, so the rest just ran into the ground. Cart did not get thrown into the woods. The cart wasn't broken. It was my fault. I need to make a little bit better transfer there, a little bit better transition over the ditch. I also need to do that down at the nursery so I can roll the cart in a lot easier. There's a couple of rough spots down there too. So it's carrying buckets until I get that fixed. So we got Canadian Farm says the process. Yeah. So it all the trees got watered in the end. We got the buckets carried down there. We ended up doing it on Sunday morning. And we got all the trees watered. We got shrubs watered. Everything's looking good. A little crispy, but good enough. The cutting experiment that we got going on in the creek down there, it is they're looking good. They're actually looking good. Kerry said he didn't know about propagating stone fruit in the fall. He says it's more of a spring thing. But since we were pruning them anyway, we threw them in some pots and then set them in the small little creek that runs through there and gave them some wicking, basically like wicking beds through the bottom of the pots that we put them in. And we're just going to see what happens since we're going to cut them off anyway. And they look like they're doing all right. They look like they're gonna we'll see. We will see. If we end up throwing them in a compost pile in the spring, big deal. But we might make them through the winter. And man, if half of them go, we'll have a ton. We'll have a ton of started stone fruit trees. So let's see. Let's see what happens. What else do I have here? Oh, does Jesus hate breakfast? So, if you listen to the show for any amount of time, you probably know the saga of the Little Red Shed. The Little Red Shed was the restaurant that happens to serve alcoholic beverages that was across from my neighbors that have all the yard art. They were on a vendetta to get it closed down. They didn't agree with whatever, whether it was the drinking or the fact that it was a business or the bikers or whatever the fucking reason. I don't think they could even articulate what was going on. But this was a Pip says, oh yeah, I started uploading a GoPro footage of work days. It's taking a while, but it should be up soon. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. I'll be sure to get something rolling with that. But anyway, they got them to shut down. They sued them. They got them in violation of different ordinances. Basically, like, we don't want a fucking business in our town. We don't need another place for people to congregate. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. They got them to close down. So over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed they've been doing some work on it. They pressure washed it. They repainted it. It's now gray. It was red. It was appropriately named the Little Red Shed because it was red. Now it's gray. And I got back from I got back from DG this weekend, and I biker bar haters, yeah. And I was on one of the local Facebook pages checking in with the political circus that's going on, and somebody said, "When's the Little Gray Shed opening?" And I was like, "Please tell me they named it that. Please tell me somebody bought it and they're going to name it the Little Gray Shed instead of the Little Red Shed." But basically, they're not. Somebody did buy it, a new owner. They painted it gray. They're going to be opening a cafe. It appears that it opens tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Looking like the hours are going to, sounds like it's going to be mainly focused on breakfast. They're going to be doing 6 to 2 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 6 to 8 on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and like 11. You got to open late on Sunday because everybody's supposed to go to church. 11 to 8 on Sundays. So I'm curious. No alcohol served. They're not applying for a liquor or beer a beer exemption or anything. I'm I'm curious if the neighbors across the street find issue with a wholesome breakfast cafe, but they had to go and name it. So the name is perfect. The name is perfect. The road we live on is called Handy Corner Road. Yeah, Handy Corner. Wonder how it got its name. Wonder how it got its name. So the the new name of the restaurant, Jim wants to know if we're gonna have a live show from the opening. Probably not. Probably not. The new name of the restaurant is the Handy Corner Cafe. And I just think that's phenomenal. I'm curious. So when I looked into how much they were selling this place for, because I thought it was a phenomenal deal, basically for 150 grand, you got the building, you got all the restaurant equipment, all the tables, everything inside except the actual liquor and food inventory, and then there is a double wide trailer behind it that they were using for an office and storage and all of this stuff. 150 G. I was like, that's a pretty good deal. I saw the restaurant equipment they had in there. It's some spendy stuff. So I was like, with everything involved, that's probably a decent price. It's not Candy Corner, it's Handy Corner. So I'm curious what they're gonna do with the trailer. Now they're naming this Handy Corner Cafe. I'm wondering if you could stop in for an omelet and a happy ending. Are they going to turn that trailer into a massage parlor? Corey says if they open up tractor trailer parking, we know what's going on in the back. Canadian Farm says, "Oh, handy." Yeah, like actually, if you're doing someone else, I think it's like this. I've only done myself. But I wonder how many confused customers they'll have when they only serve sticky buns. Chris Dixon says, I enjoyed the little white van food truck that was parked down by the river this summer. I wish I would have stopped and took some pics. Right? Canadian Farms says he wants his eggs over easy. When I used to work with a bunch of southern folks that were originally from south of the border, I don't know if they were actually here legally or not. It really didn't matter. They helped me. They helped me at work. They told me that the name for if we were going to be naming this product in where they were from, Ecuador and Mexico and all place, it wouldn't be Happy Nuts. It would be Huevos Buenos. Because we just call them eggs. Call them eggs. And Canadian Farmstead said he'll take his eggs over easy. So, time to find out. Canadian Farmstead says you ask for over easy, but they always come scrambled. Don't order the hollandaise sauce. Don't order the hollandaise sauce. Unfortunately, Corey likes eggs Benedict, so if they serve that, I'm gonna have to be like, no, you don't want that. You don't want that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There is a big push locally in the community Facebook groups and things like that to really support the new business in town. I do agree they do need a decent breakfast place here if it's decent, and that'll be the question for me. We've gone to a bunch of local cafes here. They're not good. I guess it's better than nothing. Um, but I'm a greasy spoon guy. Pizza and greasy spoon. That's like what you get in New York growing up. The little mom and pop diners, the greasy spoons. Um, Chris Dixon says, I see a review video coming for the Handy Shack. The Handy Shack. I should tell them they need to. It's the Handy Corner Cafe. Thanks. I see a review coming for the Handy Shack hollandaise sauce. Canadian Farm says they're going to call it Eggs Handy Dicked. um, the like the diner, the greasy spoon. I always have had a knack for finding them. I took Corey to a couple that I found in Minnesota. When we went back to New York, I took her to a couple that one used to be really good. It changed names, did not do as well. One that we went to that ended up burning down, and when they rebuilt it, it was no good. And I think the key to a greasy spoon is you need to go into the place, and if you were to turn the lights all on, you'd be like, oh, I'm not eating here. If you walked into the kitchen, you'd be like, I'm not fucking eating here. No way in hell. But then they bring the food out and you're like, oh my God, this is incredible. I think that's the key. So I don't know if we are going to have to wait for the Handy Corner Cafe to be around for a little while to get some of that grease built up on the grill, or what. But man, I was good at finding these places, and good breakfast is you can't beat it. When you drink to excess, or you not drink for success, when you drink to excess and or bartend all night and drink to excess while you're working, that morning breakfast at a greasy spoon is the only way to go. Canadian Farm said it all counts on the dude working the flat top. Tim says if the silverware matches, it's not going to be really good. Very true. If you pick up your fork and your spoon and your knife, and they all are different types of silverware, and you can pretty much bend them at will, you're probably going to have a good breakfast. If everything matches, not good yet. Not good yet. I agree, Jim. Jim's from New York. He gets it. He gets it. What? John Palmer says, I didn't hear you've been a dick on occasion. I have. I have been a dick on many occasions. It comes with speaking your mind. People call you a dick. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Anyway, let's see. We got the truck fixed. We got the Berkey buckets, mushroom logs, nursery watered, and the little gray shed. The saga will continue with yard art, and it's going to be an interesting dynamic because we got the opening to this is coming at a perfect time. The people that put the yard art up, she's running for alderman, the wife of the family. She's running for alderman here in town. So it's going to be interesting how much support she gets, how many people in town weren't vocal and supportive of all their interesting displays in their yard and end up voting for her in the alderman race. And it also makes me wonder, so the yard art is still there along with her campaign signs. I'm curious to see if she gets a spot. Now, this is the most entertaining political circus I have seen in a while, this local one here. It'll be interesting. What do we got? Like 3 weeks left? Canadian Farm says this sounds like a stable hand to have at the helm. Well, it'll only be an alderman. It won't be the mayor. So there's several aldermen, I guess. I don't know how the Tennessee town shit works, but it sounds like there's several aldermen and then the mayor, and the mayor's like the king or some shit. I don't know. I've been asked to vote for both mayors by the candidates themselves. And I don't have the heart to tell them that I can't vote here. So anyway, let's wrap it up. That's another Monday show, and we'll be moving through the week. Working on getting my new pre-recorded. So these are going to be pre-recorded short 15 to 30-minute interview shows that I'm spinning up. I kind of released it, talked about it on Toolman Tim's show on Thursday night. And then and haven't really talked about it here much, but I got asked to be in a podcast network doing interview shows. I've been thinking about doing interview shows again. I really enjoyed it. I missed it. So I was able to think I think I've been able to spin something up that fits into my schedule. I'm not sure how much of it will be recorded live. It really depends. It really depends on how it works out with the scheduling, but I'm hoping to possibly throw it live on Noster, and then everything else will be released as pre-recorded audio and or video. So Canadian Farm, Chris Dixon, happy Thanksgiving, Canadian Farmstead. Happy Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving to you, Chris Dixon. I hope you enjoy your poutine and Molson's. Canadian Farm says, tell them they both have your vote. Yep. And John Palmer says, did you hear about the third attempt on Trump? I did not. When did that happen? And have they been successful yet? All right, let's get out of here. We'll talk about more shit tomorrow. Hope you guys have an awesome day. It's Monday. Start rolling through the week. Start the week out good. Hopefully you had a good weekend. You got rested up. You can be able to bang it out here for the week. Hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for checking out the show, and we will catch up with you again tomorrow.
I can see the light. I can feel the sun.